See if anyone comes on before I start. And this is going to sound bonkers, but it's a bit of mythology. For people who like mythology and things like the Titans and the Elven race and all them sort of mythology. I can't even say it now. I can't even say it now. It's gone. Mythology. You know, that sort of stuff. So I'll just see if anyone pops on before I start nattering. Like gods versus the Titans. Is it true? Maybe. And it's just a chat. It's just a fun chat, but I'm going to give you some people to go and watch just because it's interesting to watch. If anything, don't think, oh my God, she believes that. No, it's just something I'm watching because, like I said, I don't watch much TV anymore because I find it like normal TV. I find it boring, and like I do think it distracts us from other things. I do sort of think that's why it's there. I can't really be bothered watching stuff like Coronation Street and that anymore because it's just like, can't be bothered hearing about people. It's just, some of it is just, I don't know, I just can't be bothered. I'd just rather go and watch, even if it is like mad stuff or, you know, what's it called, conspiracy theories or whatever. It's just interesting. But I've just been watching, I don't know if there's anyone on because sometimes it says there isn't and there is. I've just been watching snippets throughout today because I've been out and stuff, but just snippets about mythology, but something called our petrified past, being turned to stone, you know, a bit like Medusa turned people to stone. And I've wrote it all down here, and now it's really not making any sense of like, I've just written it down everywhere, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even remember. Like, I've just jotted it all down dead quick, it's not in order, so you know what I'm like, I don't know how this is going to come out, but I'm going to give you some names to go and watch after this, and I'll probably give them again at the end, but look for, if you love all stuff like this, just seeing what people are saying around the world about certain stuff, this is what I find interesting. It's just nice to just go and see what you think about stuff, even if you think it's like pure madness, you know, and it's just whatever. It's just interesting because this is amazing anyway because it's just mad. But is it mad? But it's just something, if you just don't like watching much TV either and you just love watching stuff on YouTube about different things, this is a good one. Some of you may have heard it, some of you may have seen it, and if you haven't, or you might have seen bits, you might have not seen these ones, but they are good. So there's someone called J, this is all one word as well, J Dreamer Z, but find the video he did on, he does it all on this anyway, I think, but the first one, good one to start off with is his Petrified Past, J Dreamer Z, all together in one word. Then there's Mud Fossil University. It's a girl from England talking on there. That's really good. And it's just made me think looking at this, because I'm going to talk about this in a minute. A stone that Finn found ages ago. And then the other one is the Dictionary. Oh, did I just say that? Yeah. Oh no. Mud Fossil University is a guy, and then the Dictionary of Truth is a girl in England, I think. Let's go and look at them three. But the first one to watch is J Dreamer Z, Petrified Past. Just go and see what you think. You don't even have to be into this sort of stuff, but it's just, I love stuff like this. It's just good. But basically, this is not going to come right out of my mouth. That's what I'm going to say. Go and watch these after if you're sort of interested. But if you're even if you're just into mythology, I can't say it, mythology and stuff like that, this is good to just go and watch, like I said. So I've always loved, you've heard me talk, I love the film Transformers. Everyone loves Labyrinth, and and apparently it's Transformers. I haven't seen the last one. Now I need to see it. Transformers: The Last Night. I need to see that one. That's the only one I haven't seen. But within all these sort of films like The Labyrinth with Ludo in it, who spoke to the Stones, Fraggle Rock, because they had like, this is to do with trolls as well, because Titans were like giants. So even big trolls, when they're perceived in films, the giants, aren't they? So all the fantasy sort of films that are put out there, and the mythology films, you know what I mean, always have, like, you know, if it's Clash of the Titans, whatever, they are giants, and they might have warred with the gods as well. The gods were powerful, had their own sort of magic, and then obviously the Titans were just massive, big as mountain giants. But there's always been portrayed in a lot of films, them sort of films, is there's always been giants in it, like, and rock giants as well. So you've had, like, I was trying to think before which ones. I thought, oh yeah, Hellboy, I was going on about the other day. Hellboy, on one of the films, he goes somewhere, doesn't he, to get something pulled out of him, I can't remember, or he's dying or something, or whatever it is, or she is, or whatever, his girlfriend in it. And they go to this place where, I'm sure it's like half a rock head in the ground, and its eye opens, and then they go inside. And then, like, the Labyrinth had, like, talking stone heads. And Ludo was a bit like a trolley, bit of a giant, because he was big. The Dark Crystal, I'm sure that had, like, a big rock. It had big rock. Yeah, it had a rock person that moved around on, like, was it a scooter, I think? Not a scooter, but with a roller. That was a big, like, rock giant thing. There's loads of films. And Transformers, obviously, Optimus Prime and the rest of them were big, like, giants. And even, and you'll know if you've watched this, I haven't seen this film yet, but in a lot of Disney films, things are predicted, like that sort of, giants or rock giants, is, I believe, is it Moana, that newish film, what's she called? Is it Moana? I don't know what the film's called, but in that, there's, like, I'm sure there's some sort of rock giant, supposed to be like Mother Earth sort of thing that she's speaking to, and I don't know, but predicted, shown in there. All these things, as if people are saying on these channels, as if it's like in our subconscious that we always knew about these things, but obviously we never second guess anything. If we're told something, we don't always second guess it. If we're told it's something else by the government or whoever, then we just poo-hoo it and think, oh yeah, that's what it must be. That's another chat. But I'm not telling you this is real. I'm just saying, go and watch it, because it's just amazing. And Petrified is like when things have been turned to stone. So they're finding all over the world. So it's not in one area. It's all over the world. Even the Sahara Desert, they've got something called, is it the Eye of the Sahara, where they're saying it's Atlantis or whatever. But basically what I'm trying to say is they're finding all over the world stone, massive rock formations that are, people say, oh, that rock looks like a face. We've got one in Wales, actually. We've got one that looks like a face. This looks like a body lay down. This looks like a skull. This looks like, where the rain's gone on it and sort of like broken it down, and this, that, and then the fossilised. This looks like an elephant, and you'll see this if you go and watch these programmes. It'll make more sense if you go and watch the people who've just told you to follow. But they're actually saying, I know this sounds bonkers if anyone's just coming on, are we actually living on a world that is actually made up from fallen titans? That maybe our history is nothing what we thought it was. It's actually the mythological things, the fantasy things that are all in stories and films. What if that's actually our history? When you go and see this, it's just mad, but I love it. It's just showing you all these things that do look like people's faces, giant feet, giant animals, as if they've just froze and fossilised. But people are actually saying, like this stone, And I thought, I'm sure I've got one somewhere. So Finn picked this up ages ago. And you know, you look at stones and you think, oh, and I liked it because it sort of reminded me of Mars. I don't know why, because it's red and all these lines around it. Excuse me nails, because 3 have pinged off. I need to do them. And they were saying how even massive slabs of mountainsides and things look like flesh. And I was like, you know, with like they have holes in, as if they were like, I know this sounds bonkers, blood vessels and things. So if you look at like a slab of meat when it's got veins and like marbleizing effect on it, they do. When you actually start looking at them, and I was like, yeah, it's weird. So they're saying like bits of red that you get on stuff isn't what like some scientists and government or whatever are saying it is, like, oh, it's the, I don't know, the whatever of the whatever. They're reckoning it because there was once blood in it, because these actual things that look like giants around the world, and people are just fobbing them off like, oh, it's the way, you know, water's eroded it, this, that and the other, are actually were titans that were actually once alive. And I was like, I know this sounds mad, but I've watched a couple. I'm so enjoying it. It's just like they're showing you even like if the gods did first, there was titan races. So if there was titans and they sort of started fighting against the gods and all that, and then they fell, but they had the god gardens. I think it was it the god gardens, the gardens of God, and they had like massive giant mushrooms in it, and it's like sort of petrified mushrooms. They look like giant mushrooms. It's just weird, and I don't know, it's just really good. It's just something really good to watch. And it's funny how I've always said that I like films like, I love Transformers and things like Pacific Rim, because they were like big alien things that came out of the sea, but they were massive. They were titans, and we were trying to fight them in these massive robot things. But some people are saying maybe that was our subconscious now comes out remembering our true history from actually our subconscious. So maybe that's why we have films that are, you know, them sort of films, because it's trying to come back to show us what our actual true history is. And maybe it's not the history we've actually been told, handed down. It's not our history, and things aren't billions and billions and billions of years old. But I'll just see if I've got anything else in here. But it is amazing if you go and watch it. It's just amazing. That's if you like this sort of stuff anyway. If you're a bit like me and you're into like them sort of films. And even there's been things said in The Matrix. It all says it on these things. There's things in Star Wars and all stuff like that. But let me see if I wrote anything down. But it is called Petrified Past. Our Petrified Past. Like we said, we never second guess anything. We just believe what we're told. So do you really think if there was something like that? I'm not saying there is, I'm just saying because I've been watching it, it's just good to have not that anyone's on, to have a conversation about it with. But it's even like aliens and stuff. You know, I'm not talking about that one. I'll leave aliens to another time. But if something ever came, or this was true and this is our true history, the government and people like that aren't going to tell us that anyway, because everyone will be like, well, we've been lied to all these years. Why have we been like shied away from this? Why have we never been told about it? Maybe because it's scary, but it's just like really interesting. It is that thing of we're going through the rabbit hole, and there's a lot of like going through the rabbit hole things going on around the world at the minute, and obviously people are sharing on YouTube, whether it's true or not, or you think people are just like, what the hell's going on? But it just is dead interesting. So if you fancy it, it's called Mud Fossil as well, Mud Fossil, but I can't explain it all, and I can't show you clips on here because I can't do it on this going, oh yeah, look at this one. I wish I could. I wish I could be like, can you see this one? This is a snippet of blah blah. But basically, yeah, the ancient like legends that were believed were just ancient legends and mythology, are they actually our past history that no one really wants us to know, and that we're actually sitting on it? And these things, because our what do you call it, not landlines, are getting eroded, these things are starting to come out the ground now. They're starting to come up and show more with erosions of our own lands. But these things that have like, yeah, that's what it's like our own land is sort of eroding back a bit, so these are coming more prominent and being found because they've fossilised. But it's proper like just dead interesting. So If you want to know what I'm blabbering on about, because it was only a little one anyway, because I'm actually going to go and watch some more because I just find it absolutely fascinating. And I will be coming with more mad chats like this. If I find anything like this sort of stuff, I'm just going to let you know, just in case some of you want to go and see it. I just say go and check it out. It's just interesting if you're sick of watching boring stuff on telly or there's nothing on and you want to watch something and see. Just put your thoughts on it. You know, true or not, it's just interesting. So, like I said again, there's Petrified Past by J Dreamer Z channel. That's all one word. J Dreamer Z. Petrified Past. Go and watch that one first. Then there's one called Mud Fossil University and the Dictionary of Truth. But there's loads more, and you can just pick obviously which one you want to watch. But go and watch J Dreamer Z Petrified Past first. And just see what you think, because I just think it's just like, I'd be thinking that anyway, because we know what I'm like. I'd be like, yeah, oh my God, there were dragons and there were all these like fantasy, the stuff that I love watching, you know, Lord of the Rings and all that sort of stuff. I'm into that, so think what you want, but I'm into that sort of stuff film-wise anyway, and always have been, because most people who are on my path anyway do like all that sort of stuff, but you don't have to like that sort of stuff. But if you're into dragons and all stuff like that, but so just go and watch it. It's just, I don't know, it's just interesting. Like I said, it just put your thoughts on it and let me know. But if you've seen anything else that you might think I'm interested in watching, just leave a comment, because I've just been finding it, like I keep saying, I've just been finding it. Oh yeah, and I have dyed my hair actually. It's a bit dark at the minute, but it'll fade to a dark browny red because I've got a lot of red underneath it. So it's a bit dark, too dark for me at the minute, but it will fade. But yeah, I'm going to do some other chats like this if I think I'm finding just some weird stuff for you to go and watch. But the thing is it weird? Is it our true history? Have we always sort of, was this our true history? We've always been lied to because people would be scared to find out the truth. I don't know. Go and put your thoughts on it and go and watch it, and I shall see you later. But that's what I was trying to say before. But they're basically saying, are all those things that are made up in fairy tales, films, fantasy films and mythology, dragons and stuff like that, and elvish people and all that, are they actually part of our history? So go and watch it, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.